I'm David Lombardino, Editor-in-Chief of DLA Editors and Proofers, here to talk to you about how to write an outstanding personal statement. Today I want to talk to you specifically about the attitude in the personal statement, or the attitude that comes across in the personal statement. Now, there are two parts to the personal statement. There's the content, or what you write in the personal statement, and then there's the attitude or tone, or how that comes across, how that content comes across in the personal statement. Both are equally important in terms of the success of your personal statement, but there's one key difference. While you can easily modify the content of your personal statement, it is almost impossible to modify the attitude just by editing in the personal statement. And the reason is this, that the attitude that comes across in the personal statement, or the tone, is a direct reflection of, or correlates directly to, the frame of mind you're in, the mindset you're in when you're writing a personal statement. So if you're anxious when you're writing the personal statement, that anxiety will come through in the personal statement. If you're nervous, that nervousness will come through, etc. And if you end up going on a wrong path with the tone or the attitude in the personal statement, the most efficient and effective way to change it is to put yourself in a different frame of mind and to rewrite the personal statement. It's going to be a lot easier to do that than to try to make edits or adjustments to what you already have to get the tone where it needs to be. And so there are 4 attitudes or tones that you want to avoid in a personal statement. The first one is excitement. You do not want to come across as overly excited in the personal statement, and the reason is this, because you're going to come across as not grounded, or not thinking clearly, or not presenting yourself appropriately or objectively. You want to come across as somebody who is able to think through things, who's more reflective, more objective, more presenting yourself in a clear and forthright manner. And of course, when I'm talking about the tone and referring to excitement, and also the other ones I'm going to mention, I want you to think about what that goal is, which is to present yourself in an honest, forthright, and accurate manner. And so when you think about excitement, you're getting away from that. And the others that I'm going to mention will also be ways in which you can get away from that. And so the second one is going to be arrogance. Arrogance comes through in many forms, and I understand that nobody likes to be called arrogant. And most of the time when people are arrogant, or when they're coming across as arrogant, they don't realize that that's how they're coming across. And so when we talk about being arrogant in a personal statement, and specifically when we review personal statements, when we identify different areas where it's coming across, where you're coming across as arrogant, we're not looking to attack you or to say that you are actually arrogant. We're talking about how that content is coming across. And arrogance is something that you definitely want to avoid in a personal statement, because the most attractive candidates are going to be ones who are confident in themselves, but not to the point of arrogance. Instead, confident in themselves with a touch of humility. And that brings us to the third tone or attitude that you want to avoid in a personal statement, which is negativity. There's a way in which humility can go too far. It can become self-deprecating. You can start to be negative about yourself, and that's definitely something you want to avoid. You also want to avoid being negative about other people or institutions, meaning you want to avoid any negative content or comments about your family, your friends, your professors, the medical school you're in, the college you attended, whatever. If you want to talk about others, do so in a way that's not negative. And if you need to present, for example, if there's an obstacle that you had to overcome as a result of your family situation, or your personal situation, or the school you were attending, instead of describing that as a negative quality that person or that institution had, just stay focused on the obstacle that you needed to overcome. Don't try to explain where that came from or why it existed or any of that. Just talk about, this is the obstacle that I had to overcome, and this is how I overcame it. And that way you can keep the focus on yourself and keep the negativity out of the personal statement. 2 things that you want to do with your personal statement. And finally, kind of an extension of that, when I was talking about humility, negativity, and the next step is the final tone or attitude you want to avoid is self-doubt. You want to come across as confident, not arrogant, confident with a touch of humility, and so there's no room for self-doubt to come in there. You are a candidate, you have strengths and weaknesses, you want to be confident in your strengths, be aware of your weaknesses. Everybody's got weaknesses, don't worry about it. You've got your weaknesses, here's what they are, these are my strengths, here's what they are. There's no room for doubt in either talking about your strengths or talking about your weaknesses. And so the goal for your personal statement should be to present yourself in an honest, clear, accurate manner, to do so in a forthright manner, and to be confident with a touch of humility. And if you do that, your tone will be a perfect match for the content of your personal statement. We offer a full range of personal statement services from proofreading to revision and critique and consultation. Come check us out at www.dlaeditors.com.